Since everyone is asking when will Flight 9 be, I thought that I would give this quick update to let you know what we know so far. And to tell you the truth, I'm still not exactly sure of the date of the Starship launch. We have some indications that it is targeted for Wednesday, May 21st, including some NOTAMs that were sent out. But I also reached out to the FAA today on Thursday, May 15th, to ask for an update. They just responded saying the investigation remains open for Flight 8. Remember when Starship exploded? So as far as Flight 9 goes, we still need FAA approval. We also need confirmation from SpaceX on an exact date, so I really hesitate telling someone to book a flight for next Wednesday. It might go, but there are still many things that have to happen before that date. Now keep in mind, it's not like SpaceX has been completely silent about what's happening. In fact, they posted on May 13th, Starship completed a long-duration 6-engine static fire and is undergoing final preparations for the 9th flight test, which was really great to see considering the previous static fire was not nominal. This one looked smooth as could be. So it is a good indication that they're probably going to launch soon and they think they got the problem solved. However, like most things with Starship, it's a lot of speculation from outside sources looking in. And keep in mind, we also still need to have a full stack. I'm giving you this information because there have been a lot of launches in the past where people come based on preliminary indicators and they end up staying a week or maybe even 2, or they have to leave early because the timing was not right for their trip. So this launch date is still not set in stone. And of course, if there's an update even tomorrow, I will get a video out as soon as possible to let you know. I've hesitated making a video because this is so touch and go, but considering the FAA did just answer me today, I thought that it would be worth updating you guys. Which, by the way, Marsha Smith also reached out to the FAA recently, and apparently SpaceX has also not yet submitted its report for FAA review. But we've also seen in the past that sometimes these things can happen really quickly. Another new indicator about Flight 9 today, the first Indian Ocean NOTAM has been released. This notice supports a launch on May 21st. Elon Musk even posted on May 14th, soon it will fly. And here's something really exciting that Elon posted. Elon shared that just before the Starship flight next week, so he is indicating that he thinks it'll be next week, he says he will give a company talk explaining the Mars game plan in Starbase, Texas that will also be live streamed on X. So this is also very exciting because we haven't had an all-hands talk about Starship from Elon in quite a while. But I'd be remiss if I didn't mention some of the reasons why people are speculating, at least, that Elon is doing this. It's come to my attention, and who knows how much of this is real because I don't work down at Starbase, and I don't actually know many people that work down at Starbase, but some disgruntled employees are saying that they're having issues down at Starbase, but they're saying it's not for the reasons that you think. They want Elon to come back and straighten things out. There have been a few employees calling on Elon Musk on X to pay attention. Dylan Small wrote, "The team down at Starbase is giving everything they have, working long hours, pouring themselves into every launch, every milestone, but the atmosphere has shifted. Morale is low, people are burned out and starting to feel like they're being left behind. Your presence used to drive a fire in the team. People were inspired, united, and proud to be part of something bigger. That energy is fading. Please come back and walk the floor. Talk to the techs, the welders, the crane ops, the QA inspectors. Let them see that their work matters to you. Remind them what we're building and why. Hear what they have to say and show them that you care. Everyone still believes in the mission. They need you to help reignite the spark. There are matters that need your attention. To Mars." So it's unclear if this is why Elon will be doing that all-hands talk, but either way, I think that it's great considering that, yes, SpaceX has had some issues with Starship in recent months. In January and in March, they lost both of those ships. So it's expected that morale would be low, and hopefully a visit from the boss himself can help change things. And Mars seems to be more on Elon's mind, which is where we want it to be. Elon shared humanity has a shot at reaching the stars, but only if civilization holds strong long enough for Mars to prosper on its own. Then Mars can come to the aid of Earth, just as America came to the aid of the world in World War I, World War II, and the Cold War. And by the way, if this next flight goes well and according to plan, we could be seeing a lot more Starship launches, which is great news for you because it may be easier to plan a trip down to Starbase. On May 6th, the FAA announced that SpaceX had been granted approval to increase Starship launches from 5 to up to 25 per year. This decision, of course, supports SpaceX's plans to accelerate Starship development and testing, potentially allowing launches every 2 weeks if reliability issues are resolved. And I'm also really excited to see the first reuse of a booster during Flight 9. This flight will reuse Booster 14, which flew successfully on Flight 7 and was caught by the Mechazilla chopstick arms on the tower. So this will validate the booster's performance after refurbishment, and this is another milestone for reducing launch costs and increasing flight cadence. Which, by the way, I should also mention that we may finally be able to test the new hardware, such as the catch mechanisms and the updated heat shield tiles on Ship 35, which were objectives in the prior flights but unachieved due to those explosions. So remember, we've only started having these issues since Starship Block 2 has been tested, and so hopefully third time is a charm. Plus, we haven't heard much about Raptor 3 since August of last year, but lately we've had more sightings out at McGregor. In fact, NASA's spaceflight captured this proof of life of Raptor 3 SN number 20 headed to the Raptor South test stand at SpaceX in McGregor, Texas. So it looks like they're doing more testing, which is a great sign. Yes, of course, they're still in the development phase, and that includes not only upgrading the versions of the boosters in the ships, but also the Raptor engines. In fact, Raptor 3 was unveiled in August of 2024, and recently it's been undergoing some extensive testing out at the McGregor testing facility in Texas. And even though we haven't seen Raptor 3 fly just yet, we have these amazing 3D printed models from Space Rocket Lab. I was blown away by how accurate these versions are compared to the pictures that SpaceX released last year. Now, the V3 Raptor engine is critical for Mars missions with extra thrust and less mass. They also won't need all of that engine shielding, making it more efficient, weighing less, and with more power. And this is just part of SpaceX's famous iterative approach that we all know and love, and Space Rocket Lab captures that beautifully with these models. So let me tell you a little bit about this model. Now, this is an independent artistic model. It's based on public data and creative interpretation, and they do a great job. It measures 12 inches tall and 4 inches wide. And it's crafted using an advanced 3D printing technology, ensuring exceptional print quality thanks to premium settings. So not only do I love having models like these for my YouTube videos, but they're great conversation pieces. And of course, they're just great if you're a space nerd wanting to have a little piece of SpaceX home with you. And just take a look at this comparison. I've seen a lot of different 3D printed things over the years, and you can just see how much better the Space Rocket Lab quality is compared to some of the other guys. And they usually have low stock of these models since they're handmade, so go and check out their website. The link is in the description below. So thanks to Space Rocket Lab for sponsoring this video. Now let's get back into it. Which, by the way, we're not only seeing more Raptor 3 testing, we're also seeing Pad B develop rapidly down at Starbase. In fact, the orbital launch mount was recently installed and construction continues on supporting infrastructure. And there's many design improvements with Pad B. Unlike Pad A, which uses a water-cooled steel plate, Pad B features a large flame trench to channel and dissipate exhaust flames, reducing damage to the pad and improving turnaround time. The OLM for Pad B also has a quadratic design with a water-cooled upper layer and redesigned support arms to hold the Starship stack. It's built to be more modular, potentially allowing easier repairs or upgrades. The catch arms, or chopsticks, are also a little different. Pad B's tower includes shorter catch arms compared to Pad A. These are optimized for improved accuracy in catching the Super Heavy booster or Starship during landings. So with that increase in launch cadence for Starship that I mentioned earlier, we also saw regulatory approval this month for Pad B, clearing the way for its use. And here's an interesting fact. The tower for Pad B was stacked in just 41 days, faster than previous towers with pre-installed commodity lines for efficiency. And the OLM B roll to the launch site was the heaviest transport ever at Starbase, requiring multiple self-propelled modular transporters or SPMTs. So in conclusion, Flight 9, which by the way, it's pretty nuts that we're almost to the double digits of Starship flights, is likely to happen at the earliest May 21st, but it may slip by a week or two. This is of course pending FAA approval and successful final tests and checkouts. The key goals include resolving those upper stage reliability issues, of course, achieving an in-space engine relight, reusing the Super Heavy booster, testing new hardware, and collecting data for future orbital flights. So thanks so much for watching this video. Let me know in the comments if you plan to go down to Starbase for Flight 9, and hopefully I'll see you there.